They didn't build her to be a token. They built her to change the bracket. Arcades were loud, buttons clacked, cabinets hummed like engines. The air carried that mix of soda, sweat, and pride. Then a blue blur stepped into the light. Calm eyes, iron legs, no apologies. She didn't ask for space. She took it. What made her dangerous wasn't just damage. It was decisions. She stole inches with footwork, stole tempo with timing. She made the screen feel smaller for anyone who stood across from her. People came to see fireballs and egos. They stayed because a woman with perfect balance turned pressure into art. The room adjusted. The questions changed. It was no longer who's she supposed to be. It was who's gonna beat her. The answer? Usually not you. Her power didn't come from a spotlight. It came from a promise. From a father who never came home. From a trail of clues tied to a smile that never reached the eyes. The first kick didn't just hit an opponent. It hit an old rule that said women couldn't headline a fight. One entrance, one win, 1,000 rewrites. And the best part? She was only getting started. But that wasn't the whole story. 2. The officer's daughter. Before the tournaments and the headlines, she was a daughter with a memory she couldn't shake. The kitchen lights, the late calls, the badge on the table when the clock struck too close to morning. Her father, an officer, a teacher, a wall against the worst parts of the world, left for work and didn't return. Officials said words that sounded careful, like someone walking on glass. Missing, investigation, ongoing. She heard the gaps louder than the language. She knew when people were hiding the sharp edges. She learned to read empty spaces the way a fighter reads a feint. She trained because waiting wasn't an option. Posture straight, breath steady, hands wrapping and unwrapping as if they were meant to hold truth itself. She chased leads, learned names that opened doors and names that slammed them shut. She discovered something older than the uniform and colder than the badge, a syndicate that fed on fear and left no fingerprints, a laughing man with a power that chewed through conscience, a machine that rewarded silence. Justice turned from idea to mission, not for vengeance alone, for clarity, for every family that stared at a door that never moved again. She strapped on spiked bracelets, not as flair, but as focus, a reminder that grace can carry steel, that elegance can be built for war. The path ahead was simple, not easy. Follow the shadow, find the source, break the chain, and to do that, she needed a stage. 3. Becoming the icon the world called. She answered in blue. The qipao split for movement, oxhorn hair pinned with purpose, boots made for work. She stepped into a tournament that felt like a storm. Countless styles, countless egos, one crown. She didn't plan to be a symbol. She planned to win. Speed became sentence structure. Every syllable came from the legs. Lightning strikes, flurries that read like punctuation. Her stance said, "I will be here when your plan fails." People underestimated her, then realized they were already in the corner. Crowd noise went from skepticism to shock to respect. It happened fast, faster than they could process. That's the point. The label appeared without permission, the strongest woman in the world. It wasn't a slogan. It was a fact built on pressure, timing, and a refusal to let fear dictate the exchange. She offered proof, not promises, with every frame. Being first in anything is heavy. Eyes fix on your form. Critics try to redraw your outline. Fans hold you up and sometimes box you in. She learned to navigate all of it. Let them talk. She had matches to win. But victory introduced a problem. If you want to pull down a monster, you can't just be fast and brave. You need tools that reach farther than your hands. So the kit evolved. 4. When the small fireball appeared. At first, her game lived close. Footsies, pressure, sudden bursts. Then came the smallest storm in the room, a slow-moving projectile with a quiet hum. Not flashy, not loud, just inevitable. The Kikoken. It changed everything. Now the neutral wasn't neutral anymore. Screen control started earlier. Jumpers second-guessed. Turtles resented the push. She framed the match from mid-screen, attached a price tag to impatience, and bought time for decisions that hurt more. Opponents tried to dismiss it. It's not the fastest. It won't blow you back. They learned the hard way. A fireball isn't just about speed. It's about what it forces you to do next. You jumped too early, she was there. You stood still, she advanced. You dashed, you donated damage. The smallest fireball demanded the biggest respect. With Kikoken in the arsenal, her style felt complete. Not just legs, not just flurries. A chessboard stretched across the stage. She didn't win because she overwhelmed you. She won because she rearranged you. That new control unlocked another part of the journey. You can't trail a syndicate only by trading blows in the open. You have to chase ghosts where they hide. So we go back in time. 5. Alpha days, sharper edges. Before the big stages and the big headlines, there was the grind. Older scars, younger eyes. She tracked rumors, coded messages, and faces that never used the same name twice. She wasn't just fighting bodies, she was fighting systems. Training changed, not harder, smarter. She learned how to break rhythm without breaking form, how to hold center while inviting mistakes, how to read a room when the room wanted to lie. There were teachers who understood the cost of clarity. There were nights when doubt tried to speak. She shut it down with breath work and repetition, craft as shield, craft as compass. Every tip led to another door. Every door led to a trap. She didn't stop. She learned the difference between patience and passivity, between anger and aim, between revenge and resolve. The hunt got personal, then deeper than personal. It became a duty to people who didn't know her name but needed her to win. All threads pointed to the same empire with the same smiling face. A man powered by something that looked like hate, shaped into light. The kind of energy that corrupts the air around it. The kind that eats families. She knew the ending she wanted. She also knew endings never arrive when you think they will. So she built a life that could outlast a vendetta. 6. Beyond vengeance. Some fighters only know forward. She learned the power of pause. Not retreat, return. Between missions, she discovered what the fight is for. Community, students, and the next generation that watches everything you do. Teaching didn't soften her. It sharpened her. You explain a technique, you understand it twice. You correct a stance, you refine your own. Mentorship became part of the mission. To stand against a syndicate is one thing. To make sure it never grows back is another. That takes people. That takes culture. That takes a standard passed down and protected. There was a girl who had seen too much too soon. Smart eyes, quick hands, a will that wouldn't break. The kind of kid who listens harder than she talks. Chun-Li didn't just take her in. She made space for her to grow. Lesson by lesson, she turned survival into skill, fear into focus, confusion into form. That's the quiet work heroes rarely get credit for. And as students find discipline, teachers find perspective. The hunt still mattered. The man still needed to fall. But the meaning shifted. Justice stopped being a door with one name on it. It became a house with lights in every window. Strength without service is noise. Strength with service is legacy. And legacy reaches beyond appearance. 7. Built for battle. Styled with purpose. The look was never random. The chippa wasn't a costume. It was a uniform engineered for movement, slits set for stride, fabric that breathes in motion, a palette that reads from the back row. If Grace had a blueprint, it would look like this. Hair too sent a message. Ox horn buns pinned like anchors, tradition held down by steel. Not an ornament, an oath to balance. It said, I carry where I come from into where I'm going. Watch closely, I am both. Then the bracelets, spikes catching the light, intimidation, maybe to onlookers. To her they were focus, a reminder that elegance doesn't mean fragile, that kindness is a choice, not a weakness, that a warrior can walk in beauty and still break the chain. Design evolved as the years moved. Colors shifted, textures matured. The face read wiser, the posture even more sure. Nothing felt accidental, everything felt earned. The point wasn't to freeze her in youth. The point was to show what discipline does to a soul over time. The look worked because it was honest. It matched the engine under it, and yet around every honest figure, myths gather. Some are useful, some are noise. 8. Myths, rumors, and the canon. We keep legends grow in places where facts leave room. Fans tell stories, writers test ideas, early drafts whisper things that never made it to the final cut. People say she was once imagined with a different name, a different lineage, a different angle on who trained her when. Some of it reads like a designer's sketchbook. Some of it reads like wishful thinking from late-night forums. Here's what matters. Canon isn't a prison. It's a promise. The promise is this. She's the officer's daughter. She's the fighter who turned speed into sentence structure. She's the student who never stopped learning and the teacher who never stopped giving. She's the one who saw a monster, studied its habits, and refused to quit when the door didn't open on the first knock. Speculation can be fun, sure. It gives fans room to breathe between releases. But myths don't throw kicks. Myths don't take risks. She did. She paid the toll in sweat and sleep and scar tissue. That's the line we keep. So keep your theories if they feed your love for the story. Just don't let them blur the woman at the center of it. Because the real reason she lasts has nothing to do with rumor. 9. Why she lasts fads fade. Gimmicks crack. Solid design survives. She lasts because her kit makes sense in any era. Fundamentals first. Tools that force choices. Options that reward discipline and make impatience expensive. Lightning legs isn't just a flex, it's control. It punishes bad ideas. It makes opponents rethink the next second before it happens. Spinning bird kick isn't just flash, it's a warning. If your pressure is sloppy, you will pay for it. Kikoken isn't just a small fireball. It is the quiet architect of the match, drawing lines the other player must cross. But it's more than moves. It's mindset. Calm eyes on chaos, measured aggression, the ability to end a round without ever looking hurried. She doesn't play the game the crowd wants, she plays the game the situation demands. That's why patches don't erase her. Balance tweaks might move numbers, but they can't delete clarity. When your plan grows out of fundamentals, you travel across decades intact. She is proof that style can be classic without being stuck, modern without trying too hard. And in the end, that's the difference between trend and legacy. Trends beg you to notice. Legacy doesn't ask. It stands there, hands steady, waiting for the next challenger to step forward. Which brings us home. 10. The true story. The true story isn't just a case closed or a villain toppled. It's a life built around a promise and refined by practice. It's a daughter who turned pain into purpose. A fighter who took the long road. An officer in spirit even when the badge felt miles away. A mentor who saw the future standing barefoot on the mat, waiting for someone to hand it a path. Revenge can carry you through a chapter. Responsibility can carry you through a lifetime. She learned that along the way. The first mission was to find the source of the loss. The larger mission was to become the person she needed when she was young, firm, fair, and unbreakable. So yes, she chased the man with the smile that didn't reach the eyes. She stood against the syndicate that fed on fear. She pushed back, not just with strength but with standards, and when the smoke cleared, she stayed. She stayed to teach, she stayed to build. She stayed to make sure that when the next kid faced down a bad night, there would be a light on somewhere, a door open, and a voice that said, "You're not alone. Here's how we stand. The strongest don't win because they never fall. They win because they always rise right. They root their power in something bigger than pride. They carry themselves like a promise. That's why she endures. That's why she still matters when the quarters are gone and the cabinets are dust. The bracket changed because she showed up. The culture changed because she never left. Call her the strongest woman in the world. Call her the blue blur with iron legs. Call her the mentor who turned fear into form. All true, but give her the credit she actually earned. She taught a generation how to fight with purpose, how to move with meaning, and how to turn a broken night into an unbreakable morning. That's the real headline. That's the real legacy. That's Chun-Li.